Hello, everybody. Andrew Field here. Um, I know I'm getting in the habit of saying this, but I'm sorry that I haven't come out with a video. It's been about 2 weeks. I had to focus with finals and everything. I wanted to make sure. Um, but yeah, it's been a while. So, got a lot of things I want to cover with you guys. But I do have good news. So, please stay tuned, and I promise there's good news. So first off, a while back, Rudy Giuliani, Trump's lawyer, contracted COVID-19, which shouldn't be too surprising, but it's still news. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine is coming to Canada before the end of the month, which is big news. And England started distributing the Pfizer coronavirus vaccine. So that's part of the good news is that it's being distributed, the vaccine, in and um, England and Canada, and it's going to be starting to get distributed also in the United States. So this vaccine is coming out, and there was actually more good news with that. First, I want to get through some of the COVID-19 numbers. Um, it seemed like it's gone down a little bit recently, but as on the 9th, December 9th, we reported 226,000 cases, over 3,200 deaths that day, which is way too high. Um, on December 10th, the U.S. case number reached 16 million. I saw yesterday, at least of yesterday, the 19th, it was at 18 million cases. So we went up 2 million cases in less than 2 weeks, which is obviously a very bad sign. Um, on the December 10th, I also saw that California reported 31,000 cases in one day, which, by the way, is more than most countries in the world, including Russia, reported that day. So California is bad. If you were wondering why California was implementing pretty strong lockdowns, that's the reason. Um, FDA approved the Pfizer vaccine, as I was saying, and that allowed it to be starting to be able to be distributed in the United States. Um, they started distributing December 14th, and so it's going to be about a week. And obviously, everyone is not going to be able to get it right away. They don't have a lot of doses yet, and that's going to take time. And people that are getting it first are the people that should get it, the older generation, along with frontline workers. I think people that have a pre-existing condition should be the next people. But we'll see how that goes. But the first step is good, that it's older people getting the vaccine, and um, yeah, sorry, older people and the healthcare workers. I saw there was disputes that people like working in the hospital, like the administration, was getting it before the actual healthcare workers. But healthcare workers should be the first ones getting it, and that's the least we can do for all the pressure and high risk situations where we were putting them in. Um, let's see. The FDA also found Moderna coronavirus vaccine to be safe and effective, and that's the other good news is that now that they approved two vaccines from two different companies, the vaccine process should be much faster because it doesn't matter which one you get. I think they were both 95% effective, so I don't think one was more effective than the other. They had the same effective rate. They were just made by different companies. But with two different vaccines, the distribution should be much easier, I would think. Now, it's not a fact, but obviously two vaccines is better than one. So getting two vaccines out is a big deal. It's really good news. The Moderna vaccine should be distributed soon. The Pfizer one is the one that's already being distributed. Vice President Pence, Nancy Pelosi, and Mitch McConnell all got the vaccine. Um, and just in time because, sorry, the French President Emmanuel Macron contracted the coronavirus, and there's some really sad news, and I want to say I'm deeply, you know, sorry to anyone who contracts COVID, and obviously I've been really sad about how the U.S. has been hit really deeply, and the U.S. has lost a lot of people. And touching on that, I don't know if I said this in the last video or not, but I saw that the um, the COVID-19 death rate in the U.S. is way past 300,000. So I don't know if I covered that landmark. I've covered a lot of landmarks numbers, but 300,000, it's past that now. So it's really tough numbers to see. But where I was going with this is England is getting hit really hard right now by the coronavirus because apparently a new strain of the coronavirus developed, and it mutates. Or sorry, the mutation is that the coronavirus spreads much faster. So the UK had to go into tighter lockdown restrictions right around the holidays, which I know is really hard to imagine. And I'm sure it's similar to what California is going to in terms of the tighter restrictions, but you know, it's hard enough during these holidays. Probably not going to be able to see as many loved ones, and having to worry about getting COVID when trying to spend time with your family. That's hard enough, but realizing that there's a stronger virus in your area that you could more easily get and pass on to other people is a very unnerving thought, I think. And the rest of Europe is kind of isolating the UK, which is understandable. But they're kind of travel banning the UK, knowing that this new strain of the virus is in the UK. Along with travel, more than 85 million Americans are expected to travel for Christmas, which is obviously, despite the warnings that are telling people not to travel, try to make it virtual. I know it's kind of unreasonable. It feels kind of unreasonable to try to say to make the holiday season virtual. And I'm going to be seeing limited family, but I'm not going to be seeing as many family members for Christmas, and I know it's going to be really hard for people. This, like Dr. Fauci said months ago, I think I covered that this is going to be a dark winter with the COVID surge that's going on, along with the holidays, and it's going to be rough. A rough couple months, I think. We'll get some good news, at least in the U.S., about Trump getting out of office and Biden taking office. But yeah, it's really going to be a couple of scary months, I think, before the vaccine's going to have the chance to be able to distribute it to enough Americans, and enough people around the world where we can maybe get a handle on this. So just stay with it with the restrictions. I mean, with the social distancing and wearing the masks, and not gathering in large groups. Just we gotta keep pushing, because this vaccine is really good news. Multiple vaccines. We might be able to get a lid on this and not have to worry about coronavirus pretty soon. But over these next couple months, we gotta really be careful and try to get this under control. So please do what you can. So maybe COVID-19 will be solved next year, hopefully. Um, Big news in the U.S. as lawmakers from both sides of the aisle finally, and I emphasize finally because it's been way, way too long, um, they announced a $900 billion COVID-19 relief bill, which does include stimulus checks. Stimulus checks, which is a needed thing that was for a lot of people needed. A lot of families that needed assistance with all the shutdowns and everything like that. So I'm really happy that with that. I didn't get to look at it. It came out pretty recently, but obviously I wanted to tell you that they came to a deal, and it wasn't a moment too soon because it was literally hours before a government shutdown was said to happen. So good news with the U.S. It was very good. Biden picked the retired General Lloyd Austin as the defense secretary. You may have seen this. This pick was made a while ago. but it is very important because he will be the first black man to lead the Pentagon, which is obviously big. Another pick Biden made was picking Pete Buttigieg as his transportation secretary. Now, I have nothing wrong with Buttigieg being in the Biden administration. I think that he is a very qualified politician. But I do have to say, I don't understand why Buttigieg would be transportation secretary. Like, this, to my knowledge, I don't remember him running on transportation, and I don't really understand the pick. Like, I think that Buttigieg would be good in other areas of the administration. I don't know about transportation secretary, you know. But that's all I'll say on that. Trump undermined a smooth transition of power further by refusing Biden's transition team to meet with intelligence agencies, and that's controlled by the Pentagon, a move available with Trump installing the Trump loyalists in the Pentagon. Um, and that kind of worried experts about Biden being able to know about rival countries and what's going on. And that kind of plays perfectly with, something I'll bring up pretty soon. Jim Acosta had a perfect response to the soon-to-be-gone White House press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany. It's going to be nice knowing that she's going to be without a job. She's just been, spewing Trump's misinformation about the election and everything like that. And he said why. He asked her as she was walking off the stage, why does she keep spreading disinformation every day? So it was pretty awesome. Bill Barr, who's been awful, he will resign before Christmas. Trump, I guess, was mad at him, which is just like, oh gosh, because he did so much for him. But it's good that he's going to be gone. I mean, he was going to be gone anyway, but whatever. He's gone a little bit early. But as I was saying, with the problem of Trump loyalists in the Pentagon and Biden not being able to see about intelligence agencies, over the past week, Russia, we found out, did a massive hack into U.S. agencies, which is obviously a huge deal. Republicans were saying there should be retaliation for, I guess they call it the SolarWinds hack. But Trump did not want to retaliate Russia, which is something we've seen during all 4 of his years of him not wanting to put pressure on Russia or anything like that, and he's putting Russia ahead of American interests. But Trump disagreed with Pompeo on Russia's role on the hack, and Senator Mitt Romney thankfully spoke up. It seems like he speaks up a good amount, and he was saying that Trump has a blind spot on Russia, which is, not enough, but it's something, and I'm glad that he said it. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp drew criticism after attending a White House Christmas party amid Trump's attacks. So I guess he just, heard Trump attacking him and went over to him, which is pretty pathetic. So I get why they're criticizing him. The Supreme Court rejected Texas's unpatriotic push to overturn the clear Biden victory. They're trying to discount millions of votes. The Supreme Court just flat out rejected it. Biden's lead in the election, I don't know if you knew, grew to 7 million votes over Trump, which is a huge deficit for Trump. It's actually historic. Biden claimed 51% of the vote, and Trump was the first president to lose the popular vote twice, because he did lose popular vote in 2016, but you guys probably already know that. Biden gained the largest percentage of a win of a presidential election since against an incumbent president since 1932, around the Great Depression, when since Dick Allen in 1932. That's crazy numbers. Biden won officially after the Electoral College confirmed his victory, like the states certified the election, enough of them. In the Senate, slimeball Mitch McConnell confirmed Biden's win, like when Putin did. It's like it's so stupid. He confirmed it around the same time our rival Putin did. Big news in sports with the Cleveland Indians are dropping the name Indians after having the name for about a century. Also in news, the NBA is going to be coming up soon, and the NHL actually just released a plan to bring a shortened NHL season starting the middle of January. And they're also switching around the divisions so that teams won't have to travel as much. So, very interesting with that. Trump says, or he didn't say, sorry. Trump sources say won't pardon his family because they may not testify against him. That's what his ex-lawyer says, and he knows Trump pretty well, so I believe that. An audio message said Boko Haram was responsible for kidnapping 300 students in Nigeria. Chicago White Sox legend who won the American League MVP honors and is credited for saving the franchise from relocating somewhere else, died at 78. Um, I'm really sorry about that. I guess I didn't put his name. That's really weird. Um, but I just saw he was an important figure to the Chicago White Sox franchise. Really sorry. I didn't put that in there. The country of Japan set a record of 52 billion dollars for their military budget with stealth jets and long-range missiles, things that they were buying. An Arizona billboard showed Trump behind bars in an orange jumpsuit. I thought that was pretty funny. Mackenzie Scott donated $40 million to Morgan State University, which is the largest single donation in their history. And Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were named the Time Person of the Year. So yeah, that was a lot of the main news stories that have been coming up in the past couple of weeks. This is probably my last video before the holidays, so like I was saying, I hope you guys stay safe and have a good Christmas Day and Christmas Eve. If you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a good Hanukkah or whatever you choose to celebrate. So happy holidays to you, and yeah, I hope next year will be better off for us. Peace.